you've seen her, ain't she great? She's something you'll appreciate.
It's amazing how many people really like this type of car, and it takes them back in memory.
Calling for her now. I'm talking about the new Ford, and boy, she's sure a wow.
And for Jack Taylor, this 1931 Ford brings back the memories of cruising around in his father's car.
It's just something I guess you grow up with. It's like when you're a young boy, you take a ride in a certain car, and from then on it's sort of welded to your brain that you want one of those. The reason I have this particular car is that I've known about it since 1965 when Tommy Shaw owned it. And my dad had the identical car in 1938 that I always carried a picture of. And so I always, as a young boy, always aspired to have a 31 or 32 Ford full-fender Roadster. Yeah. And that's my tribute to my dad. I didn't want a fenderless or mag wheels. I want it to be a nostalgia hot rod. And that's why it's sitting the way it is.
It may be a nostalgia car, but its power certainly beats out the original build. It's got a Corvette transmission with a 1957 Chrysler Hemi motor that cranks out 750 horsepower. Compare that to the fastest 2013 Corvette that only has 638 horsepower.
This car now is probably, if with the slicks on, it'll be a 9-second car in the quarter mile.
Yes, it really sounds and drives that awesome. The Ford Model A began production in 1928 and stopped in 1932, and even during the Depression years, this car almost sold 5 million units.
When I tried to get the modified collector plates for it, they weren't going to give them to me because they thought it was a fiberglass kit car. They thought it was a reproduction. And so I politely asked the gentleman to come over to Vancouver Island with a magnet and test it for himself, that it's all steel, fenders and everything.
So this is a modified car, but it's also a collector car, so how is that possible?
Well, ICBC has two forms of insurance for collector cars. One is a modified collector, and the other is for classic cars. Modified collector only goes up to 1958, whereas a classic car, the unmodified, absolutely stock, has to be 25 years or older. And this car is classed as a modified collector because it doesn't have the stock engine and the stock running gear or the stock interior, but it is all metal body.
The car may be a little faster and always keeps its shine, but the appearance stays true to Jack's memory of his father's car, and every ride is a ride down memory lane.
When you build your car, you build it the way you picture it, the way you want it. You don't build it to somebody's specification. You build it the way you want it, and you want it to look.
Racing around Parksville, I'm Rae-Anne the Plant.